Nalini, for more on that. Nalini, the reason to why I asked Mr. Achari if the opposition parties and their claims, allegations against the BJP have merit or not, he says it's up to them. But ultimately, when you really look at the opposition, you would assume that they have made these allegations against the BJP based on some kind of legality. But if the Supreme Court has refused to entertain this petition at all, it almost looks like this petition had no merit. If the petitioner has quoted some sections of the legal book saying that this is a violation of these laws, then and the Supreme Court not looking into it, we're still slightly confused on where is the fault? Is it the petitioner at fault or?
Well, Nabila, one important aspect that we need to remember is that often when any political issue reaches the court, the lines between politics and legality tend to get a little bit blurred. But what we need to remember in this case is that none of the opposition parties or any of the leaders, political leaders from the opposition parties were the ones to approach the Supreme Court, possibly because they understood that this is not a legitimate issue needing intervention from the court of law, nonetheless, at least the Supreme Court of India. So keeping that in mind, it was none of the political parties or the opposition parties that had approached the Supreme Court. Instead, it was a PIL that was filed by one of the lawyers from Tamil Nadu who had filed this petition before the Supreme Court, asking for this decision to be overturned and for specific directions to be issued to the Lok Sabha secretariat. Now, the first question, understandably so, that the Supreme Court had asked the petitioner was what was his locus to file this petition and why was it a PIL that was filed? How is inauguration of the Parliament building a matter of public interest, is one of the main questions that the Supreme Court had raised in this matter. And obviously keeping in mind that not only that the petition was poorly drafted, but also that there were no justifiable or valid legal grounds on which this decision of the government had been challenged in the very first place, is why this petition has essentially been dismissed. Like you very correctly pointed out, there is no point of law on the basis of which this entire decision can be challenged until and unless the petitioner who is approaching the court can actually show how somebody's rights are being violated through this decision of the government. But because such a thing could not be shown by the petitioner, additionally, the grounds that he had raised, the fact that the office of the president is being disrespected, or the fact that the provisions of the constitution are not being followed, none of them he was able to validate before the Supreme Court vacation bench, even though the bench gave him an opportunity to at least place his arguments before the court to see as to whether there is something that they have overlooked or something new that the petitioner will be able to argue. But understanding that there are no legal justifiable grounds, the court has gone ahead and dismissed this petition, and like I told you, it's been done rightly so, because there was no merit in this plea for the court to actually interfere. For the court to interfere in any matter, there has to be something wrong prima facie regarding the order that is being challenged before the court of law. Right. And because there was nothing, no illegality that was witnessed by the court at all in this aspect, they have rightly so refused to interfere and said that this petition will not be entertained. In fact, Nabila, they've also gone on to tell the petitioner that he should be glad that no costs are being imposed on him, because irrespective of the fact as to what the petition said, one thing was clear, that it was a publicity interest petition and not a public interest petition that was filed before it.
That's a huge statement coming out by court, calling this a publicity interest petition and not a PIL itself. Thank you very much, Nalini.